Hey, what's up? We're in Madison Square Colossa today. If you're wondering what that is, that's our sound guy, John Colossa's garage. He's behind the camera right now. If he wants to say hi, and stick your hand in there. There he is. He's very shy. You can laugh if you want. I don't care.
Har har.
There he is. We're actually wearing, both have camouflage shorts on today, but we didn't mean to do that. All right, so this is my rig rundown of what I'm using now. I'm always changing stuff, but I think this is going to be, hopefully it's going to be it for a while. Let's start with the guitar. I don't have my main guitars here. This is actually my main backup. I take 3 electrics to shows. I have my Sambora ESP, I have my Strat with the Floyd on it, distressed one, and then I have this as a main backup. It's just a Mutt 24 fret. It's got the Floyd, it's got the Marzio pickups. Good sounding guitar. I'm using the Line 6, if you saw some of my other videos, Line 6 Relay G10 wireless. It's working great. The only thing you got to watch out for, as I said in other videos, is you got to kind of keep this tight, because if you let it flap, it hits, but it doesn't bother me. On my other guitar, it plugs in over here, so either way, it works fine. All right, so that's the guitar. Let's go over to the amp. 5153, 50 watter in ivory, Marshall 412. That has Celestion 75s in it. John has his nice 609 on here. He's very stoic right now behind that camera, if you could see him. So basically, I'm running all 3 channels on this. I also have a 44 Magnum for this ever goes down. This thing is loud for 44, a little tiny pedal. All right, so that's that. Like I said, all 3 channels, green, blue, red. Green is clean, blue is my main rhythm, and then red is my lead channel. Now to the pedal board. This is new stuff. I'll start over here. So this is the G10 bass. So in between sets or whatever, before the show, after sound check, you let the transmitter, or whatever this is, sit in there and it charges. Green light's good. That's a good thing too, because it doesn't make a sound when you take it out. Alright, so that I got going into my Rocktron Banshee talk box for the Bon Jovi stuff. I don't have the tube in it now because we're not really putting on a concert right now. I have a show tomorrow night. John's running sound, so we're kind of running through this new setup through his PA just to make sure things run smoothly tomorrow night. So we got the Banshee, and then the Banshee is going into the input of this. This is my new Fractal Audio AX8 amp modeler and multi-effects unit. Most of you probably already know what this is. I have zip ties on here because I don't like to Velcro stuff like this down. I just use zip ties because if I ever need to move it, it's just much easier to just cut this and right off. So I'm running this in the 4 cable method. I'm actually using MIDI into the 5153 amp to change channels because there is MIDI on that amp. I'm running, these are the direct out, so if the amp somehow goes down, my backup, this is my backup amp if I have a problem with the tube amp. So these are already set to send out to the PA, and then John can put me in through the monitor in front of me or through my in-ears in order to hear it. But today we're just going to go through the 4 cable method. So I have, these are my 2 effects lines, effects loop lines, and this is the other, this goes to the front of the amp. And there's plenty of documentation online on how to set this up, and you probably already know, so I'm not going to continue on with that. So what I have set up, I have this patch labeled 4CM01, which is the 4 cable method, and I have 4 scenes set up. Scene 1 is a clean, scene 2 is distortion, rhythm, scene 3 is a heavy distortion, scene 4 is a lead, which on the amp itself I have boosted a little bit just to stand out a little more. And then these 4 buttons here, switches, I got a drive pedal, phaser, flanger, and a delay. Basically all I need to run pretty much any show I play. I don't need crazy effects going on. So All right, let's listen to some of this. This is the clean sound. Hopefully this is not too loud for... Got a little delay on it. It's a pretty Fenderish sounding, clean sound on this amp. Yeah, it's really clean, and I have the gain on this well past halfway, 2 o'clock. So if I need to, I'll never do this, but I can put a drive. I'll never do that though. I can add the phaser. Or I can add a more pronounced delay. Hopefully that's going to translate through the camera. Alright, so now here's one of the gain channels, which is the blue channel. See if, I don't know if you can see that, but with the MIDI. That's the clean. So, and then if I go to the lead, the red one's over here. That changes that, and then back to blue. So the MIDI works fine on this. Alright, John might want to back up so he doesn't get his head blown off. It's pretty loud in here. Not as loud as I like it to be, but it's loud. Is this still coming through the PA too? This is going through the PA too. Alright, so I got some reverb on. I'm using the ambience reverb on the AX8. Almost forgot. This is almost like a music store. No noodling, no stairway, and no Deep Purple. It's too bad. Some people enjoy those songs, John, but it's your rules, so I can't play any of those things. I'm not really going to play any songs. Maybe we'll play some songs. I don't know. Alright, so that's that blue channel with the gains at like 8 o'clock. Got a good crunch to it. I can add the phaser in. Add the flanger. I think I lifted the phaser and the flanger from Van Danzy on the forums, the Fractal forums, because they're just Van Halen sound of flanger and phaser are my favorite. So I lifted off that, so I apologize if I wasn't supposed to, but I know other guys are using it. And then the delay. Alright, so that's that. Then I got my heavy rhythm, which adds a drive pedal. Channel, which will switch to the red. It's louder. And I have a little bit of delay. And that's about it for the my main 4 sounds. I'm going to put one more thing on here. Now, I also have the option, as many of you know, to use the amp modeling in the AX8 through the amp. So I basically take the cab out. Here's a preset. Some of you might have heard the Bon Jovi clip that I did, their new song. So this is the, I think this is one of the presets I made. Doesn't sound like it's the right one. Actually, I think it is. Yeah, that's without the cabinet. So there's no cabinet in that. That's just the amp model with the effects running through this, the amp head for the power, and through these speakers, which are 75s. So you can do that too. I'm probably going to start doing more of that because there's 220 something amps in this thing, and a lot of them sound really good. The effects are just world-class effects, so pretty much anything you need is in this thing, and I can see myself using this exclusively for a while. I've gone through, if you saw some of my other videos, I've gone through, I had a Kemper, probably own another one another day because it's just a great unit and still make profiles with it, but I needed something a little more raw. That's why I'm using the amp again, and I had the Helix, Line 6 Helix, which was one of the most well laid out pedal boards I've ever used, and the display's beautiful, the effects were pretty good. You know, I just could not get the amps to sound the way I needed them to sound, even with using third-party IRs, and I just couldn't do it. It just had, Line 6 has their own proprietary amp modeling sound to it, and I don't jive with that. So nothing wrong with it, it's not for me. So this was next up, and I'm loving using this thing. Hopefully I'm going to use it for a while. And I gotta thank Fractal. I used to own a Standard and an Ultra back in the day when they first came out, and it wasn't there yet, which is the reason why I got rid of it. But this is like 1,000 times more advanced than what they had before. So that's it. That's the demo rig rundown. Anybody has any questions, I'll give you John's phone number, and he'll be happy to call you back. Call him in the middle of the night if you want to. He's up. He's probably running sound somewhere. He's a road dog. So thank you, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.